Here's a video game console that I would really like to dive into, and it's one that I remember very fondly from my childhood, and it is the Vectrex. Now this came out in 82 and I think it lasted to about 84. There was some attachments for it. There was 3D goggles and like an imager. I think there was a pen or something with it too. You'd put the little films on the screen to change the color and make backgrounds and stuff. It was pretty neat. It was an all-in-one TV console thing. Pretty big, cumbersome. The TV was about a 9-inch screen on it. I remember renting this from the video store where I lived. Now, these were really expensive back then, so not too many people would have owned this. A common person would not be purchasing something like this. Now, I get a couple different answers on the internet about how many games were actually made for this system. It looks to be between 28 and 39. I guess if you dug really deep into it, you could probably find the exact number. Not a lot of games for this. Like I said, it only lasted about a year and a half at the most, maybe 2 years tops. It was really neat. I remember playing this, and we really did have a good time with it. I didn't realize the games were so limited on it. Most of the games are going to be worth something. I'm going to dive right into this, and let's get right to it. First up is 3D Crazy Coaster, and as you can see on top, $4.97, guys. This one is complete in box, probably like new condition. The middle one is just the cart for $131, and then $580 on the bottom. Again, complete in box, very good condition. I would say like new to me. Very expensive cartridge. These are going to be expensive games just because it was a very limited system and run of games. Now, if you're looking to buy a Vectrex console out there, it's going to cost you some money, so just be prepared for that. You on this screen here, guys, as you can see, the first one is the 3D Imager mask. Now, this went for $13.79, looks complete with the game. Crazy expensive piece of hardware for this console. It's like the Virtual Boy and stuff like that. Vectrex Mindstorm 2. This was a mail order only, guys. 2,600 on 5 bids. I can't believe someone would pay this for a cartridge. Any cartridge. I don't care what. Even if it was the first Mario Bros. To roll off the line. I just can't believe it. I don't know who's buying this stuff. I really don't. I just think the big whales are cornering the market and just buying up everything, and then when they have everything, they kind of set the price, and if you don't pay it, well, you don't get it. Like, to me, I really don't care. I'm not that, hardcore that I worry about it, but it is insane for the average collector. It really does suck. See in the bottom, we have 3D Mindstorm, $131 for cart only as well. I can't remember the 3D glasses, guys. Obviously, I don't believe they would have rented them back in the day, so they're probably pretty rare. Again, most of the stuff for this machine is pretty rare, and to find it in the wild is next to impossible. You may find it at a game store, maybe, thrift store if you're very lucky. We have 3D Narrow Escape. Now, we have two examples here. The one on the top went for $828, very good condition, complete in the box. And then the bottom one went for $690. Basically the same. I think they're both in relatively good condition. I don't see anything too bad. The one on the top does look a little nicer. I don't know if it was just the picture quality. But to me, the one on the bottom looks a little bit duller, especially on the black on the bottom. So maybe that's why the price difference there. Again, very expensive cartridge. Keep an eye out for this one, guys. Next up is Alien Hunter. Now, I don't know if this is a new release or what, guys. It's really hard to tell. Came in Ireland, $604 and 44 bids. So very sought after, obviously. This did get into a little bit of a bidding war. To me, this might be like a homebrew type release or homebrew. I'm not too sure because it doesn't look like the old style stuff. Next up, we have Animaction. Now, keep in mind the one on the top is Animaction, but it's in a lot of other games, so $828, so you can't really take that into account. It's just a nice example. And then the middle one went for $138 complete in box, and then the bottom one complete $207 as well. So the price kind of all over on this. If you do find these, especially with those cardboard inserts, man, it is a big score because that would be so hard to find. You know yourself, the inserts are the first things that get chucked in the trash when people buy these. Next up, we have Berserk. This game was on a few different platforms back in the old day, guys. Top $69 complete in box. Really nice. $27 for cart only and $61 complete in the box on the bottom. Really neat game. Do find some of this stuff in the wild. I'm definitely keeping it, especially this rarer old stuff. Definitely won't be selling it. What I find, I'm going to keep, guys, and I'm going to grow this collection. It's going to be awesome. That whole game wall will eventually all be gaming stuff and nothing else on it. The toys are going to get moved over. I have a plan for it. I'll show you that in a different video. Next up, we have Continuum. And the top, you can see $392. and then the bottom 211. Now this is a homebrew game. It has dice with it and some other peripherals. We don't know what the game is about. It could be some domino type dice game. Who the heck knows? But it is a homebrew. So as you know, the homebrew stuff is usually pretty expensive. I have a couple chase games here. So the first one is Omega Chase Deluxe, and it's signed on the top for $307. And then $249 for Hyper Chase on the bottom. I really do like the covers on these. A lot of them had this like 80s grid pattern. The sci-fi stuff really reminded me of like Tron, or a lot of the old Star Wars games had these kind of looks to them as well, like the flying ones. Really neat. It just brings me back to being a kid, guys. I can't explain what it was like to rent these things. If you're my age and my generation, there is a chance that maybe your family rented one of these too. Really neat. We are moving on to Polar Rescue. As you can see on top, 125. The middle one is complete to me, 262, and then 96 on the bottom. So pretty expensive cart. You're probably 250 if you have everything else, assuming it's some sort of military rescue up in the Arctic or something. Who knows? Next one is a multi-plat classic, and it is pole position. Now, as you can see on top, 193 complete in the box. Being able to save the overlays in these will definitely get you a lot more money. And then cart only on the middle there, and then the bottom. And then in the bottom, there's just a bunch of different carts and overlays and stuff. Actually, a really good deal on this bottom stuff for the amount of overlays and stuff in it. I'm surprised they let it go this cheap. But, you know, it is what it is on eBay. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Next up is Vectrexians. And then, as you can see in the top, 296 brand new. And the bottom one is 81 brand new. Not too sure what the deal is with this. To me, this looks like a Space Invaders type game or something like that, guys. Nothing groundbreaking, but you can tell by the graphics on the front, that's probably pretty much what this looked like. Neat game for the day. Again, this was like 82, 83, 84 age, so I mean, the stuff's not going to look too groundbreaking by any stretch. Next up, we have Viersen. Now, this is a homebrew game, guys. Keep that in mind, so it is new. It's not an old game. 73 on top, 69 in the middle, and then 73 1-bit on the bottom. They're all pretty much brand new except the bottom one here, so they're all going to be in that $70 range. Pretty cheap for a homebrew game, actually, so it probably isn't in super demand. I really like the cover on this, very classic. I figured I'd save this one for the last. It is the actual console itself. As you can see in the top, 828 in box, 759 in the middle, and then 621 in the bottom. Now this box is Rochi on the top, and you have to understand a lot of these were rentals from what I recollect. So that's probably why most of the boxes got beat to shit, honestly, because people weren't buying them and taking them home. And you know, there is a lot of boxes that survive when people buy them themselves. But if you do find one in the box in really good shape, I would expect to probably pay a minimum of $800. But if the box is really nice, guys, it's going to go over $1,000. Very expensive system to get in the box, and probably something I'll never find unless I find an old granny or someone having it out on a yard sale or something, which is, I mean, it could happen. You never know. It would be awesome to have on the shelf, don't get me wrong. And if I ever have enough money to get something like this, I'm definitely going to get it because I really like this system. But you are going to pay up for this. Really neat system, honestly. I'm going to do it for the old Vectrex, guys. I mean, made by Milton Bradley. Huge game maker back in the day. Still is. Probably like a mega toy company, in my opinion. I remember just being a little kid playing this on the weekend. We'd go down to the video store in Tamworth, the town I grew up in. We'd pick this up, and yeah, we'd just play it. We had fun. I don't remember what it cost to rent these for a weekend, but I'm sure it wasn't like a huge amount. But it was such a treat, and it was so much fun playing it. If you do have the opportunity to get one, and if it still works, I would definitely do it. The good thing about these old CRT tube TVs, they do last forever if you take care of them. So a lot of these probably still work. I know there's one at the game store in Belleville. I don't know if there's one at the other pawn game store or not. I think he's asking like $600 or $700 for the one at our game store, but the box is pretty ratty. If I ever get one, I want to get a nice box for it, but that's just me. This video is not going to be too long. There was not a lot of games that came out on this. Like I said, I think it was between 29 and 39. Really cool console. If you like the content and have any other ideas for the channel, please let me know. Game system you'd like to see me go over, please leave it in the comments. I'd be more than happy to do it. As always, have a great day. I will see you in the next one. Peace.